My Girl Life podcast is sponsored by Glamour Boutique. Glamour Boutique is the leading name in cross-dressing fashion and lifestyle with a physical location in New Jersey and, of course, their famous website. Be sure to use your My Girl Life discount code MGL15. And listen, I know they have your best interests at heart, so check them out. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of My Girl Life podcast. Before we get started, please don't forget to show me some love and subscribe to my channel and like the episode if you like it. And that tells me I'm doing something that y'all enjoy and allows me to keep doing it. So thank you in advance. Today, I'm super excited to have a wife of Olive Issa. She goes by Daddy. And so we're going to go call her Daddy for the interview and stick with the theme. I'm excited to chat with you both. Welcome to the studio.
Well, thank you for having us.
Hey, Maddie, how you doing?
Good. Okay, so you guys are married. You've been married since 2009, is that correct?
Yes.
The very first time was 2009.
Yes.
Well,
We've been married about like 4 times now, so we kind
to
of...
each other?
Yes.
You've been married and divorced?
No,
and married
we
4
got divorced.
No.
4 times.
So we got a wedding in my country. It was Honduras. And then we got 2, civil and then the church. And then we got one in Vegas, right? Yeah, one in Vegas, and I don't remember the other one. Oh my God. Yes, it's been a lot.
I love it. You guys crack me up. That's awesome. Well, you've solidified it, that's for sure.
Oh.
So my next question was, did you have a traditional wedding? Well, it sounds like you had a bunch of various types of weddings.
Yeah, our second wedding was the most traditional.
Yeah.
We had family. It was in a church. It was all that kind of stuff. We were all dressed up.
Nice. And so, if I remember correctly, Olive, dressing evolved within the marriage in role play. Is that correct?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about that evolution, how that came about.
Everything started because I would say like the sexuality in between us, it was, always pushing the limits. And it was always trying to find different ways that we can enjoy each other in different ways. So I'm always trying to find a way to make someone mine and everywhere that I can. And I try many different things with her, and she likes it. And I'm like, oh, okay. If she likes it, I'll keep doing it. So after a while, she finally said yes to the cosplay and stuff like that, how we started it. And from there, we started, a couple years later, become Olive.
So when you started doing it, was it incremental? Was it trying one piece of clothing and then added some more?
Yeah, everything just started like in the bathroom, like just the little lingerie, the little fantasy, like the Red Riding Hood or, like the maid and stuff like that. We started like that. And then, it becomes something else. And then, like, how about if I buy you this dress? Will you wear it for me? And, lingerie. I love buying lingerie for her.
So, Olive, how were you feeling at this point? Were you like, oh my God, this is awesome? Or, okay, I'll go along with it. And then you began to like it? Or were you just out of the gate like, this is great, I love it?
I was definitely in the okay, this is awesome. I did supply enough whoa to not look like I was just dying for it, like she had to be her idea kind of thing.
But you were doing that on purpose because you were kind of dying for it?
Oh, I was loving it. Yes, it was.
But
really...
you didn't want to you didn't want to show your hand completely, right?
No.
She was kind of shy when I started because, I have tried to do stuff with other people, like sexually stuff. And either you like, oh my gosh, no, thank you. I'm not that kind of toy. I'm like, okay, if you don't like it, it's okay. We don't have to try it.
Sure.
But with her, it was a little bit different. So when I started very, very mellow because I didn't know exactly how it's going to react. And then when I started doing stuff, I was like, oh, she did like this. Oh, good.
Yay. Olive, did you have any of these other similar experiences with other people?
I didn't. I had nothing like this ever before. It was very new stuff. it was exciting and it was scary, and I didn't know. I didn't know if I was gay. I didn't know what was what. It was all there was just wasn't a lot of information. I didn't do a lot of research also, but it was all strange and crazy.
So how did you work through that? Did you do some research? Did you do some self analysis, or did you just say to yourself, you know what? If I'm not hurting anybody and this feels good and she likes this type of stuff, I'm down.
There was a lot of everything. There was a lot of self analysis. I was searching the web, trying to figure stuff out. And, this has started in probably 2013, 14. So there wasn't a lot going on the internet. That wasn't just totally just sexual
that's true.
stuff. It was, you could always find the sexual stuff, but you couldn't find real people talking about what was going on. So
like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And so did you gradually get more comfortable with it, or was there a time frame where it just kind of spiked and you became totally comfortable, or was it just kind of incremental?
It was very incremental. I was still in the military, so I didn't want to do things that took me to the next level. I didn't want to get my ears pierced. I didn't want to shave. That kind of stuff. So it was really that getting out of the military that let me go and just
finally join that part. Yeah.
Well, that I'm sure that was hard mentally when you had to be in one mental stage or facet and then you shift gears. Sometimes it's hard to shift gears in your head, even though it's something you like, she likes. You have two different masks, if you will.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was hard. It was fun.
And I'm always pushing her, because now that we have, our marriage never had like 100%, agreement. But I have always liked to push her like to the limits, because I was like, I know that you can do better, and I know you can do this, and I know you will look amazing in this dress, and I know you will do. But she's still doubting about.
Well, I think you've done a great job, by the way.
Thank you. and I'm always trying to, give her the little extra, come on, you can do it. And, just enjoying the time, because why not?
Absolutely. Has there been anything that Olive just said, you know what, even at this later stage, you know what, I'm going to pass on that, or has she been game for whatever you come up with?
Well, kind of, because I like to cause pain. I'm very, like, if I twist your nipples or stuff like that, like, I like to be in control of that specific situation. And she's not much of the pain tolerant girl. So yeah,
she's shaking her head no.
She has a couple of times she has told me no. Because I'm trying to do stuff like that but other than that, we have a really good run.
Well, it sounds like you have a good enough relationship where she's comfortable telling you no, and you're comfortable asking for things that you'd like to try. I think that's very healthy, actually.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It has taken us a couple of years to learn each other, and basically just talking and making sure that we understand, because I don't know if you knew, but I'm originally from Honduras, and our, like language wise, we are not 100% there. So sometimes I say something and she was like,
that adds a little new twist to the communication. That could get a little dicey if you're talking about doing some of the things you're talking about.
So
now, Olive, are there any things that you suggested to Daddy that you'd like to do that she hasn't brought up?
I'm sure there are. There's things I bring up all the time, but
or has she gone through the entire list and then some?
She's not down for anything. She has things that she likes and things that she doesn't like.
Yeah.
So she's not just wild and crazy and just like off hinge to do whatever all the time.
Of course.
Still focused towards things that she likes in the first place.
Yes.
I love it. What a great relationship. So, Olive, do you dress around the house without Daddy there?
I do sometimes, not a lot, because it's a lot of work. And usually if I'm going to get dressed up, it's to do pictures. So yeah, sometimes she's not here, but yeah, I'll if I'm doing the pictures.
So you dress with a purpose. You're not just dressing to watch TV or to lounge around.
If it's going to bed, maybe, or if it's late at night, maybe slip into
Right.
something comfortable. But no, generally speaking, no. I'm just in shorts and a t-shirt, bumming around.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're right. It definitely is a lot of work. And that's usually where I'm at in terms of dressing is it's for a purpose, right?
Right.
I'm going to dress for interviews and for going out. Like I'll go out tonight. And I appreciate you accommodating the time slot because I'm getting dressed to go out. Yeah.
It does look like you got some kind of clubby on there.
Yeah. I'm always overdressed for wherever I go.
That's the way to go. Come on.
We have a little local bar and I'm always overdressed, but it is what it is. I mean, when we take the time to get dressed, Olive, right? You want to put your favorite clothes on,
I want to do something new. I want to try something.
You don't want to dress
different.
frumpy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I have always trying to put her in dresses that show her figure because especially now that she has lost weight, her booty cheeks look like really, really good because they're like so, yummy.
We've all noticed, Daddy. And thanks for sharing.
Because if something looks good, why not to show it? So I'm always trying to, like push her to the way that she can show a little more of the figure because her style is totally different than what I'm expecting. Like I have an image of what she looks, and then she has another image in her head of what she wants to wear. But I'm like, no, that's a little bit too grandma-y, Granny.
And did you say grandma?
Not yet. And I'm always like, it's not the time yet. So you can just, wear this little tiny dress. It will be looking better. So yeah.
Nice. Now, Daddy, have you ever cross-dressed, like dressed more like a boy?
No, I hate pants. I hate pants.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, no. I have always wear like tiny, tiny skirts. Like the smaller the better.
The smaller the better.
Big high heels. And so no, I'm not interested in that specific part of.
But you probably have outfits when you do your, and you probably call it kink, kind of in the kink realm, correct?
No, not really. We don't, well, actually, because the name came from me being dominant to her. So basically, Daddy is because I created this specific persona. And well, I didn't put her name, but yes, I created these, the things that we have now. And that's what the Daddy name came from. So it's more like a dominant thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's kind of what I meant by the kink thing is more the dominant, the dominant thing. Do you ever get into outfits then when you guys role play?
Yeah, we do a lot of, using toys and using a lot of different things that we enjoy that part of me being in a
so both participate.
Like a kind of type. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So do you guys go shopping together? Daddy, it seems like you might want to shop for Olive. I'm getting a vibe here.
We usually go together, and if I'm not with her, like if I'm working or something else like that, she's always sending me pictures, and she's always asking me like, "What do you think about these? What do you think about that?" And I usually am the one who shop for her shoes because I'm always trying to like the styles we can like match.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm always trying to put her in bigger and bigger heels.
And I'm sure she's gotten better and better at it. Olive, have you ever taken a big spill in the heels?
The biggest one I took was about 6 months ago. We were leaving the club, and they had one of those floor mats or the wipe your feet mats that has like the circles in it. And the heel got stuck in it, and I went down, and that was a nice black pair of pleasers that ripped when I did that. So, yes.
Did you hurt yourself or just
no? It was fine. There was plenty of lubrication on board for me not to feel too much.
Oh, perfect. Daddy, is there a favorite outfit that Olive wears that you like?
Now that she has lost weight, she's wearing a black tiny dress that I have that is really open at the front. And her whole back is out too. So I love that one specific on her.
Well, not her whole back. You mean her back, not all the way.
No, the back, it's like not, how do you
backless.
say that? Yeah, backless, yes.
Backless dress, yeah.
And that's the skirt is like this big. So it's just enough so it can cover booty cheeks.
Yeah, just enough.
Just enough.
So that's kind of your favorite type of outfit. Maybe you don't have one particular outfit, but that's the type you like.
Yeah, I love when she always wear tight type stuff, because I feel like her body type, it's just so good. And I love seeing her, like, it makes me, rattle a little bit when I see her in that type of dresses.
Olive, you little vixen, you.
Not my fault.
Daddy, how do you feel when you go out in public with Olive? Are you like, yeah, bitch, or that's mine, don't touch? Or do you get a little uncomfortable of not between the two of you, but how other people might react? Or are you completely comfortable out in public with Olive?
The one who actually is trying to fight, because, like, if you look at her in the wrong direction, I'm like, what's up? What's up? What the hell are you looking at? That type. But usually, no. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? It looks good. I know. And they are like, yeah. And then when I turn her around, it's like, look at this real. So I always trying to, make people comfortable enough that they can come and, just say hi, or if they have any questions, or, like anything, and they just want to hang out with us, more than welcome. I'm always friendly, that, but not too much, not that today.
Right. Just the right amount of friendly.
Yeah, that's the right amount. So, I'm always trying to be more, open to talk, and to, just have a little bit more of experience with other people history, and, like, if they start talking to us about, how do they feel and stuff like that. But yes, I'm always trying to be open and friendly about it.
Well, I was going to ask you if you guys had any troubles while you're out. Sounds like once in a while somebody will spot Olive, or, as we say, clock Olive, identify,
I'm not
whatever.
trying not to be clocked.
We actually had a funny story.
That's a whole other topic.
Yes.
And
Go ahead.
When we were in the Parliament House in Orlando, we were just ordering some drinks at the bar, and this guy came behind us and started, like, just grab Olive from the back.
Oh, wow.
And then he just runs away. And I was like, what the hell just happened? And
that's weird.
It was something that you're like, oh my gosh, what just happened? Like,
so you didn't get to confront, you didn't get him because he ran away?
We did not. He just runs away, and then we were like, oh my gosh, the hell?
That's weird.
Yeah.
Anybody else that's kind of given her trouble that you've had to have a conversation with, or maybe try to explain, or just, hey, respect this, and we don't really need to answer your questions if you have questions?
No, not really. We have encountered really nice people. We not trying to go and startle, like, go to bars just like the normies. How can you say it like that?
I call them general population, people who are non-LGBTQ, non-crossdresser, non-trans. I call them general population.
Yeah, we trying to go more like, LGBTQ friendly bars. Like,
right.
If we go Orlando, we trying to go like restaurants. They are like welcoming the families, and the clubs and stuff like that, and other bars that we always trying to keep it in, in the family.
You just want to blend in. You don't want to cause trouble. You just want to have fun and blend in like everybody else, right?
Well, she's the one who's
maybe catch a few eyes. Maybe catch a few eyes.
Yeah, I love that. Yes.
Yeah. Daddy, is there anybody you have that you can talk to about your situation, and especially in the early days? But sounds like since you kind of drove it a bit, it wasn't like you were puzzled and didn't know what to think. But do you have somebody that you can share this kind of information to or be out with them?
No, not really. I don't like to. When I'm here at home, I like to be home, not, like, I don't like to have people to know my business.
Gotcha.
I like if we can travel and then we meet people over there and, and then we can start talking about whatever happens and, life in general. But other than that, I don't like to, I like to keep my business private.
Gotcha. And Olive, do you think Olive will be part of your relationship forever?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
100%.
You don't think you'll get tired of it?
No, it's
because it is a lot of work.
It is definitely not a phase. It's not a fad. It's not a trend for us. It's just it's a lot.
It's
You know,
kind
like
of a way.
I
It's a
said
way
before,
of life.
it allows me to express another side of me, and it's helped balance me out amazingly. And I think it's important just to have that space to be able to do that.
Well, what's great is, there's some people, whether it's a spouse, partner, friend, who you come out to and they are supportive. And then there's a difference between supportive and tolerant,
Right.
and then participative. I think tolerant is the first one. That's better than nothing. Not really what you want, but you'll
Right.
take it.
But it's what a lot of us get.
Right. Well, and some people don't even get that. They get the opposite of that. But then supportive, where the people are truly supportive. If you're happy, they're happy type thing. And you can even talk about it with them. And then there's participative, where I think that's the best one. That's definitely where you're at, where it's not just, okay, I'm fine with it. It's like, I love this. I wouldn't want to do it without it. I wouldn't want to do without it.
Right.
And I think that's the, nirvana of partnerships when it comes to these dynamics.
I don't think that needs to just be this. That could be anything. That could be any relationship, to be able to have that level.
True.
And I think this is just another spin-off of that. It's just people being happy together.
That's
and
absolutely true.
Embracing,
Great point.
letting each other be who we want to be, and embracing who they become. It's cool.
Do you guys ever talk about Olive when Olive is not dressed?
What do you just like? I don't know. What do you?
Well, if you're not dressed, does the name Olive even come up?
Yes, yes, all the time.
Does she call you Olive even when you're not dressed?
Sometimes.
Yes.
Well, there's some other names maybe she calls you in different situations. Well, that's a total comfort level. Okay, Daddy, I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
Did you ever question Olive's sexuality with all of this?
No. I
sure as fuck did. I didn't.
I have always been open to, if this is what you like and this is what you enjoy, go for it. I'm not the one who's gonna stop you, but always talk to me, or
right.
That type of, like if you have any doubts or any type of anything, just let me know, and then we can figure it out.
You didn't have to question because you guys were always communicating. So
Not
if there was
actually.
anything,
No,
you would
actually,
know.
when we start like playing, it was more like just enjoying sexually. And then when we start like actually dressing up, that's when we start the conversations. But it was not like 100%. This is what are we gonna do? It was more like learning every day about something different. And it took us a couple of years, not because I didn't want to. It was because her was still shy about it. Was still like trying to figure it out if that is what she wanted or not.
Well, you were going from the military to this, and again, pardon the phrase, but it could be a big mind fuck, right? And it's hard to process all that.
It was remarkably easy for me to transition out of the military and not have that mindset anymore.
Oh, good.
But yeah, it's like all that weight that I was giving, all that delay, all that time, it's me trying to figure this out.
Well, tell me more about that, Olive. When you say I definitely questioned it, what did you question and how did you work through that?
I didn't know if because I liked to wear dresses, if that meant I needed to be with guys. I didn't know if that meant that I was actually really attracted to guys, because that's all that you could find. Well, not all, but that's a lot of what you could find online at the time. And that's a lot of what the conversations were about. Like, you come online, you show a picture of yourself, everybody's telling you who you need to be, how you are, and they're giving you all this information about you. And you're not founded enough in yourself to realize that either that's not true, or that, that we aren't all just stereotypes. We aren't all this way or that way because we do this. Even between you and me, we're hugely different in what we do this. Not hugely, but I mean, there's big differences about why we do this and what this brings for us and where we're at.
There's definitely overlap, but it's like a concentric circle.
Yes.
There's definitely overlap, but there's definitely areas that we differ, and all of our friends, we all overlap in different ways, but we all have separate things that we do, that this means to us. It's different for everybody. I think you're right.
Very much. With the prom we just went to, we had 10 or 12 different people there, and we're all so different. But we can all hang out together. We can all enjoy life together.
You don't feel like like anyone is judging you, or like it's like questioning yourself into what the hell am I doing here? Or like feel yes, you are in between the people who you met online, but when you actually meet in person, they are like completely different people. And a lot of them like discover in that time who exactly are in personal levels, or, like they discover like, oh my gosh, this group is amazing. We had such an amazing time. I didn't know that this is, like that.
You wouldn't have found out if you didn't take the chance, right?
Yes.
Well, tell me about this prom event.
It's we call it Megan's Prom. It's in the Tri-City area of northeastern Tennessee. She was part of the LGBT community or committee that helped start it 3 years ago, and she invited me, and I think there were 4 of us that came, and it's grown into something we do every year. And every year we make, like last year, I think we had 9 or 10 dressers, and 5 of us came as couples. So with wives came to it's a wonderful thing, because it's a nice place that the wives can feel safe to come.
Right.
And get dressed up and see what this is all about, really. If they're having questions or issues, it's like, this is such a perfect place.
Yeah. I think that's really important for the wives. And the event that I go to, TG Rocktober, which is in October, and then I've been to Wildside, which is in Vegas, a bunch of times. Spouses go to that, partners go to that. And this year we're going to have a lunch and a breakout session for the wives. Nice. To ask questions and have discussions like we're having right here, because I think that, like you said, it makes them feel more comfortable. It's always more comfortable when you know there's others that are like you, or that are in the same position as you, right? I think that's a great idea. So that prom thing sounded like it was perfect.
It's been pretty nice. Yeah, we love it.
Yes. Every year is different, so it's not one specific thing that you will, say that this is what I'm looking forward next year. It's always something so excited to.
So next year it won't be a prom; it'll just be a different theme.
It was going to be a different theme.
Well, it'll be a different theme, but they move to a different location every year. They have like every year. Like the first year they had like 150 people, then they had like 220, and this year they had over 300. So it's a pretty big thing. But it's we just take over a little piece of it with our group.
Have you been to any other events? Any of the like Wildside or TGR or Southern Comfort?
I have not been to any
Keystone?
of the other dressing events. The only thing we do is we do the girls' weekend a couple times a year.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to go to Keystone, but I had a prior commitment to go to Key West with one of my friends.
And would you guys go together?
If she wants to at the time, because it's always about what life's going on and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely if we can, she would definitely come up.
And I'm always pushing her to do stuff by herself too, because she's super shy, and it's hard to, well, not now, because we have met like a lot of awesome people.
I'm working on
and it was hard for her to be without my support, because I'm always trying to push her to do stuff without me, because I don't want my personality or my stuff around girls that I'm influencing my part of view, that I want her to enjoy 100% of the time that she has with all the girls in any type of situations that we are. Like, I'm always trying to, I'm like, go talk to her, go see what she needs, or go, stuff
Right.
like that.
Well, good for you. I think that's good. And Olive will figure out where, has probably figured out where her comfort levels are and where they are not.
Yeah.
And
They'll change.
she'll probably let you know. But that's so cool that you can change and mold and take some risks, and some things you may not like, but you would never know if you didn't
Yes.
try it, right?
Absolutely.
And if you can do it in a safe environment, which, Daddy, it sounds like you provide a very safe environment
I
for
try.
Olive to thrive.
That was one of the big things about first going out, was she was my safe environment. We could go anywhere as long as she was there.
Right.
But doing it by myself is a very different feeling. It's a very different.
Oh, I think that's very valid. I feel the same way. I'm very comfortable, and I go to non-LGBTQ establishments way more than I do go to LGBTQ establishments. And I usually go with friends. If I go early before they get there, if I know somebody, great. I don't really like to go when I don't know somebody. I have. In fact, that's how I got to know these bars. You got to go the first time, and the first time you're not going to know anybody.
Right.
So how can you get to know people if you don't show up? So it's still unnerving. It's always fun to have friends around to go with you.
Yes, absolutely. It's awesome when you have that other little anchor there that assures you
Yes.
that you are there with them, or like you feel secure enough.
That you're valid, and
Yes.
you have somebody that likes you. And
Yes.
yeah, it's just it may be a complicated feeling, but I like that anchor analogy. So let's talk about kids. So, Daddy, do you have kids?
So we have 3 boys.
Okay.
The oldest is mine. The middle one is hers. And then we have one together that is the youngest.
Oh, perfect. And where are they in the knowledge of all
They all
these
know.
these shenanigans?
They all know about Olive. They all know about that we support the LGBTQ community. We trying to teach them that just because somebody looks different doesn't mean that you can judge them or make fun of them. And if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask, and never judge anyone.
Good for you. Good for you. What a great way to raise kids.
We try.
And
it's not always easy, but we try.
Sure. Were they very receptive in the beginning, or did it take some time to tell them, let them absorb? They had questions, and did it take a while?
No, really. They were like, when we came out, like Olive stuff, everything was like, we said the 3 together, and then we were like, hey, listen, this is what is happening, and this person is gonna come out, so and so, and then you might see more often me dressing up. And yeah, and they were like, okay, cool, are you happy with it? Yes. And they're like, oh, okay.
That's great. That's a great feeling, isn't it? Good for you. I'm happy for you. Have you guys ever had any wardrobe mishap? Probably talking to you, Olive, more than Daddy. Have you had a wardrobe mishap out in public?
Oh yeah. That's why
Care to share?
That's why I like having her along. Because like
with bobby pins, and
it can be like that. It can be with the hair not holding, and yeah, we gotta get some bobby pins in there to lock it onto my hair underneath. Or it can be, we've had, oh my gosh, it goes on and on. Like my dress for one of the proms was held together with a giant safety pin, because we're there and everything just kind of goes crazy, and it's like, oh, we got to put it back together. Nothing bad. There's nothing hanging out or waving at people that shouldn't be, kind of thing. But
yeah, we all have our stories. I did an episode with my friend Kelly, and I used to call tuck and tell episodes where it was just me, but I call those Maddie's message now. And the tuck and tell episodes are going to be Kelly and I every 2 weeks. So we did our first one last Friday, and we talked about her trip to Italy. A bunch of girls went to Nashville. and then what we did during the week, and so on and so forth. Going out to Nashville, my breast forms got flagged through the scanner, which it's happened a few times. They take them out, and they usually end up going to those.
Was it in your suitcase?
Yeah, it was in my suitcase.
Oh, okay.
And it was a carry-on.
You were flying dressed and.
No. That's a good question. I never thought of that. So they open up the suitcase, and then they take out the bomb strip to test for bomb residue, I guess, whatever. And they tested, I don't know if it was positive, but there was a red flag. So I'm like, well, that's weird. There must be some sort of something on the breast forms. So they brought somebody else in, and then they tested them again, and it came up the same. And then they took my shoes out of the suitcase, tested those, and those threw up a red flag. So now I'm getting a little worried. I'm like, am I going to be shipped off to El Salvador? What's going on here? And then they brought in somebody else. Long story short is it ended up being fine. But, when it happened prior, a year ago, I wished when the guy was taking the bomb, strip thing on the breast forms, I wished I'd have said, be careful, they're ticklish. And so I did remember to say that this time, and I got a chuckle out of him. But for a while, I said, be careful when you swipe those, they're ticklish. And then they were looking through everything in my suitcase. I was feeling a little self-conscious. Right. So I started pulling out some pictures of Maddie and showing him the pictures of Maddie so he knew what was going on. But yeah, I have plenty of other funny stories. In fact, I did a whole episode on Maddie's funny dressing stories. It can be kind of crazy. Let's see. In closing here, Daddy, what advice would you give to other spouses who are just learning about their partner's cross-dressing and gender identity issues?
I say just let's keep an open mind. And if your partner wants to talk to you about that type of stuff, don't just judge them, or don't just not give them opportunity of, not to be truthful, because open up into those conversations are not easy for them, not easy for you, not easy for anyone. But if you keep an open mind, I think you will enjoy going together and shopping.
Yeah, there could be a lot of pluses about it. Well, that's really good advice.
Yes.
And I think that's probably good advice when your spouse or partner wants to bring up any subject.
It doesn't matter what the relationship is. If you're open and honest with your partner, then it can...
Or your kids.
Right. If you have somebody telling you not to do something, then they're trying to control you. And what kind of relationship is that?
Exactly. Good for you guys. Well, I'm happy for you, and I'm glad to be able to showcase such a positive relationship, especially.
Thank you. We try. Every day is different. Nothing is set in stone.
I'm sure it's not perfect. By no means are you probably trying to say it's perfect, but you're still together and you're still marching along.
Most of the time.
Good. Well, that does it for this episode. Thanks for watching, listening. We appreciate you all. And remember, be bold, be kind, be you. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Maddie.